phonetics. In this installment of studying Russian with Crazy Russian Dad, we will learn a very important word. The word "вот." Okay, in Russian sounds like "что." Has 3 letters: Ч, Т и О, and O. That first letter is very interesting. It's a letter Che. You know, like Che, like famous or infamous revolutionary Che Guevara, like Che. Okay, it's a letter. Because in English there are only 26 letters, and even that I think is too many, personally. But in Russian there are 33. It's like 7 extra letters. So that there is less ambiguity. Like in English, CH can stand for Che, and it can stand for Sh, and it can stand for K. Sorry for the special effects. Roads bad where I'm driving. Okay, but in Russian, letter Che stands for Che. Okay, which is awesome, much less ambiguous. Having said that, every rule has an exception, or 2 or 3, and that's such a case with the word "вот." Что, even though it's spelled with a Che, it's actually pronounced with a Sh, like SH. Okay, so you say что. Что means "вот", okay, like what do you want? Что ты хочешь? Что ты хочешь? And much like in English, the word "вот" can have multiple like variations. You can sort of modulate it depending on your mood, or depending on what sentiment or emotion you want to express. You're like, what? What? Okay, so you can try all those things as well in Russian if you're lucky. Right? You can say "что," which is like extreme surprise and bewilderment, and then you can say "что," which is like, what? Yeah, are you sure? Okay, so it's sort of like that. Now, for advanced students, if you're not an advanced student, hang up now, unplug your phone and rewind. But if for those curious souls, okay, that really want to understand the heart and soul of speaking Russian, or at least speaking that word in Russian, I will tell you stuff that's not in the, not in the textbook, basically, right? Sometimes it's pronounced more like "чё," "чё." It's sort of a derivative of "вот." It's sort of a broken "вот." It's a little bit like, you know how in America at least the word 20 is pronounced more like 20, or something like that. I think if you try to say 20 quickly, that's what you will get, and eventually people agree that let's just sort of say it that way, which is funny because some Russian immigrants, they learn, including myself perhaps, they learn to say it that way, and so they just say "20", okay? Like, how old are you? I'm 20. I'm 25. Okay, so it's the same with this. Like, don't try to say it that way. Like, you cannot be too cultured about it. You just need to say "чё?" "Чё такое?" Like, what's going on? What do you want? Okay, so you will surely sound either like a really, really experienced Russian, or maybe an unlettered peasant, or both. "Чё?" She's like, what do you want? You gotta say it with contempt, okay? This is not for the faint of heart. In fact, you should be prepared, like if you're in a bar or something and you say to somebody like, "Чё?" That it's an invitation for a fight, probably, okay? Anyhow, so this was for advanced students. Don't try it at home. More like don't try it in Russia, really, unless you're surrounded by Russian-speaking bodyguards, okay? So there you go. You learned a little bit more of Russian today with Crazy Russian Dad, okay? Чё? Good night.